All right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Jim George is in the studio. We're going to learn about electronic stuff. We're going to learn about TVs and the internet and tablets and mega and giga and all that stuff. Yeah. Good morning, Jim. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
If you want to be part of this conversation, the phone, that old-fashioned technology.
Old-fashioned. POTS, plain old telephone service.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. But you can use your new phone, too. The number is the same either way. It's 622-WOCA, and that is a sponsored phone number. It's sponsored by the good folks over at Climate Control. So it's the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. It's amazing. The telephone company calls it a POTS line. That's what it's called, technically, and it stands for plain old telephone service.
Is that right?
Yeah. And now we have VoIP, Voice over IP.
And was...
Voice over Internet Protocol.
Okay. See, I've always wondered what that VoIP thing stood for.
Yeah, IP is Internet Protocol.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
QoS, quality of service.
Uh-huh.
Check the quality of service is supposed to be tested all the time, and because there's things like jitter and flu in your voice on a voice over IP line, because it's data flowing. So you know how data flows. It's like electrons. So one hits the other, and that's how it flows. So it can jitter. And it can flu. So jitter means it's as it hits each other, it kind of snakes instead of going in a straight line. You know how you have those little balls you let go and they hit each other?
Right.
You think of that as a straight line. But in essence, if you were on the side, it would they are moving a little bit left and right. And if they move too much left and right, then you lose voice quality. And then quality of service is that thing that brings it back in line.
Oh, wow. And that phenomenon doesn't happen in the old-fashioned phones?
Nope, it's just plain hard wire everywhere. And that's why when, voice over IP can go out because it's over the internet, let's say.
Right.
But your plain old telephone line won't go out because it's even powered by the phone company. It's not powered by your house. Voice over IP would be powered by your house.
Oh, my.
See, I never knew all that stuff.
Yeah, you have a little, when you plug in your modem, a device which turns the internet into a usable service that you can use it in your home.
Right.
That's plugged in. So if the power goes off, if you have a UPS, then an uninterruptible power supply, it would stay up for a short period of time, maybe 30 minutes, maybe a day, depending upon how big your UPS is. You can have arguments. My UPS is bigger than your UPS.
Yeah, I've had that. Do you? Isn't it interesting how there are always like two things? Like remember when VHS came out, there was also beta. Mm-hmm. Like now you have the iPhone and you have the Android.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's always two things to choose from, and now cable. Or I guess satellite. I guess would be the other one or whatever. So
hardwired systems will always, in one sense, be a better quality than, let's say, wireless. But wireless offers the convenience. You can take it anywhere.
Right.
Like an RV can have a satellite dish on it. Be driving down the road and watch TV.
That's amazing.
Wow, don't have to be stationary anymore then.
No, they have a device, this geosynchronous device, which tests the signal strength. First of all, it's got a GPS in it, so it knows where you're at, and then it knows where the satellite is, and then as you move, the GPS says, okay, you've moved 10 foot to the left, so now you got to turn the dish a little bit. Mm-hmm. So as you turn left and right, that dish is just moving on top of your RV. And boats have them, if you're out the ship, if you're out on cruise, you watch TV. Mm-hmm. That's by satellite. The dish is moving.
Have you ever heard that the GPS information that you get is actually controlled by the government? Have you ever heard that?
Well, in the sense that the government owns the satellites, or?
Well, let me just say a little bit more. That if the government wants to do some secret squirrel thing, that's Robin's term, secret squirrel.
Yes.
And they don't want people to be able to track that. They will change the GPS for a moment so that nobody will really know with their GPS what they're doing. And that's why. And this is what. And maybe that's just one of those conspiracy theories that's not true at all. But some people believe that when you're out on the water, for example, in a boat with a GPS, it shows that you're really on land because it's not accurate because the government is doing something at that time. So they've kind of shifted it over. Everything's not exactly accurate.
Yeah.
So you're saying it does come back to normal after a while? Is that what you're saying, Robin?
Mm-hmm.
I think I was the one talking
Yeah,
about it.
you were.
Because I know I've actually been on a boat
He
where
just
we've
likes the secret squirrel line.
I've actually been on a boat where we've driven from like West Palm Beach to the Bahamas. It's like 2.5-hour drive.
Oh, that's got to be
And
cool. I've always wanted to do that. You like that?
And we used a Magellan GPS to
Oh.
to find our way there.
And did it ever show you were on an island when you weren't?
No, it showed me on the ocean.
So is that is that a GPS just for the water? The
No, a
Magellan?
Magellan was a device strictly for GPS at the time. Now the technology's gotten to where you can have it in your cell phone. You can have it everywhere. But at one time, you had to buy a GPS handheld device.
Oh, isn't that fascinating?
They weren't very expensive. They were like maybe $89, but they were very accurate within like 10 feet.
Oh my gosh.
If Magellan had a Magellan, it would change history.
Well, Galileo. Golly.
When you go in Lake Cable, then do
Mm-hmm.
you track all the cable layings on like a handheld device where you don't need to have like paper maps or anything anymore?
Now, we draw them on the paper maps or on there's other software you can use, and it's on a server or cloud-based. But
Oh.
everything that comes above the ground eventually gets GPSed.
Really?
So, you might say node 17 is on State Road 200 and Southwest 60th Avenue. Well, which corner? So with the GPS, it tells you exactly where to go. So all we do is punch it in, and it'll take us right to the device, because it may be 60 feet off of the corner or 120 feet off the corner.
Oh, really?
Yet we might list it as on the corner.
Oh, wow. Let
Gosh.
me invite the listeners. If you want to be part of this conversation, you are welcome to do so. I love when you come in here because it reminds me of the show we used to carry called Into Tomorrow. I don't know if you ever heard that story.
Ooh, no, I didn't know that.
No?
Didn't,
I don't think they did woo, but if you want to call the show, it's 622-WOCA, and Jim will be here. You can ask a question. And one of the hottest topics you had for a few weeks there was how to protect your house from lightning strikes. So
Yeah, it seemed to be. And I'm looking into actually becoming a dealer for one of the products. I'm trying to get a product that is inexpensive. I mean,
what?
$350 doesn't seem like a whole lot to protect your entire house. But I'd like to find a device that would come down to about maybe under $200, including installation.
And this would be like a lightning rod?
A whole house surge protector.
Surge protector.
Whole house surge protector.
So are there different surge protectors when you create this whole house surge protector? Are there different surge protectors then for the house that's built on a concrete slab as opposed to the homes like those manufactured homes or the homes on stilts because of the water levels?
No. This what I'm looking for is like a breaker. It goes in your breaker panel, and so in essence, you would not even know it's a surge protector. It looks like a breaker, but what it is, it's sensing all the voltage on all the breakers, and at the time when a surge happens, it absorbs the surge and it breaks.
Oh.
But when it breaks, it resets itself, so that you may see your lights flicker. But they won't go out, type of thing, as long as the power is on, but it protected you from the surge.
So it doesn't matter if your house is on a concrete slab or elevated then?
Does not.
Wow, that's fascinating.
So anything new with wasn't the net neutrality thing something that was about to be decided on last week?
Yeah, and I meant to send you an email, but I thought you might think it kind of boring. It was over a page and a half long, and it dealt with the fact that the FCC is saying that there were many parts to net neutrality. And although the government shot down the one part, which says the FCC has the right to control it, it said, keep in mind, the FCC still has the right to legislate or to slap your wrist or to fine you if, in fact, you discriminate between one person offering a service and another person offering service.
Oh, really?
So in one sense, you would think, well, that is net neutrality. In other words,
Right.
we
We need to go to a break right now. I'm
Go right
sorry I cut you short, but we'll take a little break. We'll be right back with Jim George. Your phone calls are part of this, and we'll hear the rest of what Jim has to say after this.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. A blend of sun and clouds today with a couple of thunderstorms around this afternoon and evening. The high 88 to 92. Partly cloudy overnight, low 72 to 76. Clouds and sun tomorrow with a couple of thunderstorms around during the afternoon and evening hours. High 88 to 92. For Sunday, partly sunny with an afternoon thunderstorm. High 90 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com and in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara,
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
right here on WOCA The Source.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. A blend of sun and clouds today with a couple of thunderstorms around this afternoon and evening, the high 88 to 92. Partly cloudy overnight, low 72 to 76. Clouds and sun tomorrow with a couple of thunderstorms around during the afternoon and evening hours, high 88 to 92. For Sunday, partly sunny with an afternoon thunderstorm, high 90 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Thank you, Joe. 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. I saw the phone lit up, and I apologize for not getting it. If you want to call Jim George, the phone line is open. The number is 622-9622. Let's return to Jim George from American Cable Services. And I love this kind of a show. I just love, I'm a geek. I love high-tech stuff. I love TV. I don't really watch TV, but I mean, I love the idea.
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, even though I don't watch it, because I don't have it really, I mean, I have a set, but I really do. When I'm at somebody's house that has one, I like watching it. Put it that way.
Do you have a CRT, a cathode ray tube, or, the big heavy thing, or do you have a nice slim line TV?
I have an old TV.
So you have a cathode ray tube.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. They are actually the better picture in my opinion.
Really? It doesn't look like it. When I go to Best Buy, those pictures look pretty good.
I have a Zenith 51-inch cathode ray tube, and let me tell you, that thing is gorgeous.
Wow.
Absolutely gorgeous.
But I go to
But
Best Buy and I see those TVs. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
That looks so nice. I said, what was that store? What's that store over by the Guitar Center?
H.H. Gregg or something?
Yeah.
That's it.
They have these beautiful recliners. These big TV. They have these living room set up. I sat there just to sit and watch. I was watching their TV, whatever they had on. And the guy comes over. He says, "Can I help you with something?" I said, "No, I'm just sitting."
Yeah. It's air conditioned.
It's just nice.
Comfortable.
It's just nice in here. Yeah. All right, let's go to the phone. And remember, the phone line is 622-WOCA if you want to speak to Jim. Good morning. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, good morning, and good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
Speaking of TV sets and Zenith, I bought a Zenith with the old tube set. It had to be 12 years. I had it for 12 years, and then I wanted to go to the flat screen because I wanted to get a much larger screen. And the set was running perfect, and I knew of some people that they could use a TV set, and they were having a hard time. So they've had that set 5 years now, and I talked to him not too many days ago, and I said, "Hey, how's that TV, the old Zenith?" He says, "It's as good as the day you gave it to me." And when I gave him that TV set, it was a beautiful picture, but I wanted a bigger one. And now with the newer flat screen sets, are they going to last that long?
No.
Oh.
No.
Why not?
because it's dealing with the LCDs, liquid crystal diodes, and LEDs, light emitting diodes, and it's dealing with plasma and chemical reaction to electricity that changes colors, and that stuff just wears out.
Oh,
Whereas
wow.
the CRT, the cathode ray tube, as long as it had a good vacuum, and the guns, there's 3 guns inside that picture tube, a red, a blue, and a green. That picture will be crystal until the day it decides not to work at all. The tube itself. Now, the electronics, even if you had an old tube type, you may have to replace the tube, like a Viam tube or a color tube or something. But as long as the CRT, the cathode ray tube, the big picture tube, they call it, is working, and the capacitors and the resistors are, that thing will last forever. I mean, the one I've had, let's see, it was given to me before I moved up to Ocala. I've been in Ocala 31 years, and my daughter now has it, and she's had it for a couple of years. So I think that thing's about 38 years old, and it was used when I got it.
Wow.
And it works, absolutely gorgeous. Now it's an analog TV, to be honest, and so you'd have to use a converter. You receive a digital channel, and it converts to analog. But the picture itself is picture perfect.
Now, my flat screen I've had for about 5 or 6 years now, I guess it is. If I start to see a problem, does it pay to have them fixed or just to go out and buy a new one?
Go out and buy a new one.
Yeah, and what would you say for the longevity of if you watch TV on average of, let's say, 4 hours a day, about how long do you think a TV like that would last?
Well, one of the technologies about TVs is the same technology about fluorescent light bulbs. It's not how long they stay on, it's how many times you turn them on and off.
Are you suggesting to leave the TV on?
You could leave it on, but then, of course, you consume power. So dollar-wise, you would probably use more electricity if you left it on than it would be to buy a brand new TV after 10 years.
Ah, okay. So I might as well turn it off.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So I guess what kind of a problem would you notice first, like a weakness in the color or a loss of a color?
Yes, chances are you would see one portion of the screen. Let's say it's a 1/4 inch of the screen or something fading, starting to fade.
Yeah.
It always comes from the sides or the 4 points of the rectangle, in, not from the center out.
Right.
A cathode ray tube is from the center out.
Yeah, with the price of these flat screen, these large TVs now, they've really gone down in price from like 5, 6, maybe 7, 8 years ago. You're probably less than half of what they were originally. So, like you say, you're probably better off just going to a new set rather than. I know. Would somebody come and can they fix them?
You can have them fixed, but because the circuit boards are real small, and if a person has a Sylvania or a Samsung or a Philips or whatever brand he has, that the person that fixes them will have those particular little circuit boards with him, and he'll just change them in your home. But to be honest with you, by the time you paid a $65 service charge and maybe $125 for the card, and let's say you're in the $220, if you looked at the prices of these things, I just saw a 55-inch the other day for $299.
Wow.
That's something. Do you think you'll go down much lower in price or kind of stabilize?
No, they're going to go down much lower.
Really?
Yeah, because 4K is going to come out. 4 times the resolutions of the 1080 that you have now.
Well, they're out now, aren't they? Because they're really expensive.
Yeah, I'm saying, but the more that people start buying the 4K, the more the 1K, that's the ones you have now, will go down.
Wow. You'll be able to taste the cereal commercial.
Yeah.
Is there quite a big difference between the pictures if you had them side by side?
Well, a 4K TV is made for a 4K picture, so as long as you only have everybody else's cable or even satellite, if it's not a 4K picture, then it will look just like a 1K picture. Your 1080, your 1080 is really 1K. That's what 10.
Right.
A 4K is 4,000. A 1K is 1,080. So it would look the same. But if you ever saw a 4K picture, wow! You think 3D is pretty? You wait till you see a 4K.
Do you have to have a separate equipment between the satellite or cable and the TV to get that?
if you had a cable provider that was providing a 4K picture and you had a 1K TV, it would look a little better, but I don't know if you'd be able to tell the total. It's like the difference between a Kodak picture, a Polaroid picture that you might see to take a picture, and a 35 millimeter. You can tell the difference.
Yeah, really.
You can tell the difference.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Well, that is a good way to compare it. Yeah, Polaroids were a little bit disappointing. I mean,
Yeah.
they came out right away, but
Yeah, it was
I
fun.
mean, you could tell it was who it was. You could see
Right.
you could know everything about it. But when you have a 35 millimeter picture, wow, that was really clear.
that was really great. Yeah.
And then the picture shows were 35 millimeter, and they went to 70 millimeter.
Right,
And then
right.
and now they're going to IP.
Wow.
They don't even have to have the film in house. They strictly log on to wherever the movie house is, download it to their server, and show it to you in the movie house.
Isn't that amazing?
Really?
But the popcorn's still real,
Yeah,
right?
right? Popcorn's still, still very expensive.
So I never knew that about the large TVs. They don't last as long. And Robin's daughter had one that was not too old, and it
Stopped working.
Stopped working, and I thought,
Yeah.
wow, the old TV. We had a Curtis Mathis at WOCA. Oh my gosh, must have been 3 decades. I don't know how. I might be exaggerating. At least 2 decades, though. That's probably not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
It just sat on top of that. Where we at the old studio, where
Right.
I don't even know where it is. It was working, I think, the day we left.
Yeah, it was.
So.
It was working.
Yeah, if you're not a TV connoisseur, in other words, you don't really care a lot about what's on the peripheral edge of the picture. I mean, for instance, if you had an analog TV
Right.
and you were watching a movie, and you have right next to it, you had a high def one, there'd be more information. You would actually see maybe a boat out to the right when you have a picture on the pier of some people talking. The analog would show that. The digital one would show that out to the edge, about 4 or 5 inches over.
That's true.
There was a boat.
That's true. That's true.
It shrinks the information down, but you don't really miss anything. Do you care if there's a boat out there? I mean, so. And
Depends if there's the lady on the boat.
Yeah.
I might care. Do you know where one place
Carnival.
though? I got to tell you this. Robin and I were extras in Waterboy, the Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, yeah.
Now let me tell you what we did. We sat in the stands in the football stadium in Orlando.
Yeah.
The Citrus Bowl. Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? So in other words, you can't see us.
Yeah.
We're just one of maybe several hundred people. Okay,
Right.
and we're halfway up. But I had a certain coat on. Robin had a certain
Coat on, yeah.
Were we
Yours was
with
blue, mine
anybody?
was brown.
Was Shannon with us?
Yeah, we were with TJ and Trish. And
Okay, so we were other people,
Yeah,
and everybody knew what they wore. So when we went to the movie theater to see it, you couldn't see us because it went by too fast. Okay.
Yeah.
Then when it came out on VHS, we stopped it, and you can't see us at all. But then when it came out on DVD,
There you go.
That was awesome.
we stopped it again, and now. If you didn't know us, you couldn't tell it was us.
yeah.
But hey, that's the coat I wore.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
see
it was
me in there. Yeah, I could see it with the digital. So that's my way of understanding the differences. So.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen soon with 4K is not only could you had stopped it, but you could zoom in.
Oh wow.
Wasn't that something? So you say, I wonder if that's me. And you just zoom right in. Can you imagine that?
That's cool.
That is kind of cool. Well, you know where it's disappointing with the photographs is when I go through old photographs and they were Polaroids. It's like, oh man, I wish this was a clearer picture. I'd like to see this better.
Right.
But even the old black and white pictures from the 40s, when you blow them up, they're so clear.
I know.
So
I like black and white. My wife buys all these beautiful color cameras, $1,000, let's say, for this camera because she takes pictures of her dogs. We breed golden retriever dogs. And I like black and white. I've always liked black
That's
and white.
fascinating.
Well, Jim, I always love when you come in here. It's always fun conversations. How do we get a hold of you if we need some help with our cable TV?
Certainly, it's 854-9795.
Jim, thank you so much. Have a great
Thank
weekend.
you.
All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lily.